How a 10-year Norwegian marketing campaign made salmon sushi popular in Japan. Sushi has been a staple in Japanese cuisine since at least the 9th century. And today, raw salmon is one of the most popular and commonly found varieties. However, the widespread popularity of salmon sushi is relatively recent, thanks to a Norwegian marketing campaign launched in the 1980s. Before the 1980s, salmon was more commonly enjoyed grilled or cooked in Japan due to the presence of parasites in locally caught Pacific salmon. Many Japanese people, including Michelin-starred chefs, had never eaten raw salmon and refused to try it. They found the taste, color, and smell of the fish off-putting, and even the shape of the salmon's head was thought to be bizarre. In the late 1980s, Bjorn Olsen of Norway traveled to Tokyo and unveiled the future of sushi, salmon. Despite the initial resistance and cultural stigma, Olsen was determined to introduce high-quality Norwegian salmon to the Japanese market. Norway had an excess of salmon due to a thriving commercial salmon farming industry, while Japan had overfished their own waters. Olsen launched a marketing campaign to change how the Japanese viewed salmon. He ran advertisements showcasing the cleanliness of Norwegian waters and tried various tactics, such as commercials featuring celebrities eating salmon and inviting Japanese dignitaries to dine with the Norwegian royal family. Gradually, Japanese importers began purchasing Norwegian salmon, but it was still mostly cooked rather than eaten raw. The turning point came when Olsen offered 5,000 tons of salmon at a significant discount to Nichire, a large chain supermarket, on the condition that the fish carried a sushi grade label. The deal led to lower prices for salmon sushi and eventually forced other restaurants to serve raw salmon to compete. Olsen kept prices low until an entire generation grew up eating salmon sushi, and the popularity of salmon sushi skyrocketed. Today, Norway ships over 140,000 tons of salmon to Japan every year and has transformed Norwegian salmon farming into a $9 billion industry. The marketing campaign demonstrates the power of rebranding and positioning a product as the typical solution for everyday needs, rather than relying solely on endorsements from celebrities or influencers. Full story can be found link. Feel free to sign up for the newsletter for link.
I find everything about this interesting. From the sushi grade phrase to the fact that Japan is importing their salmon because their local wild salmon has parasites in it. Pacific salmon carry parasites that need to be killed by cooking. Atlantic salmon just needs to have been flash frozen to kill the parasites. At least the ones that can hurt people. Original sources for this research are from NPR's Planet Money a few years ago. By the way, https www.npr.org/2019/06/03/729396914/episode-651-the-salmon-taboo.
Thanks. I've always found it interesting how marketing shapes societies. It's possible almost anything could become accepted or integrated in everyone's daily life if it is marketed consistently enough. Nice post-op. Thanks.
Like Santa being red to sell Coca-Cola.